what is up? Welcome back to my YouTube channel, Just a Vision. It is your girl and your daddy here, Jaquel Viola, and I'm back with another mother freaking video. Alright guys, yes, sorry about that. I'm just a little energetic and enthusiastic right now. But yes, I am back. So I know it's only been like a couple days since I posted the last video, but that's alright because you know what? If I want to be a YouTuber, I gotta keep posting content as much as I possibly can. You feel me? You feel me, guys? But anyways, so before we get into the video, there's a few things that I do want to say. One is, unfortunately, I am in the car again, but that's alright because Des is trying to take a nap, and it's really nice out. Well, it's not nice outside, but it's relaxing sitting out in the car for a long period of time, which I usually do that on a daily basis, even when I was at my parents' house. A lot of you guys might think it's weird, but I've actually also heard other people tell me that they also sit in the car for a long period of time after they came back for a place or something like that. They just sit outside and they just, just chill there and relax because it's so, it's so relieving and it's so soothing. You just listen to, the world around you. You're just in the present moment, but you're just listening to everything and you're just feeling the universe and the wholeness. It's a good feeling. But yeah, so I'm just sitting out here just enjoying it. It's not like too crazy beautiful outside like it was yesterday, but from the rain and just the cars going by, it's a very soothing, relaxing feeling. I like it, honestly. But yeah, so that was the first thing I wanted to say. And the other thing was, normally I would show you guys my outfit, but then again, I don't really have that much space to show you guys. And so I'm not really gonna be like, oh my god, this is my outfit, you feel me? But I honestly just threw something on real quick just so I could make this video. I put my hair in a little side ponytail, threw this beanie on. Honestly, guys, I don't even have a bra on. I just threw on, this long sleeve shirt over my wife beater. And no, I don't beat women. And then I just threw on a black pair of pants and some socks and came out here and was like, hey, I'm gonna make the video. So this is what I'm wearing. Not anything too cute, anything too special. This is it. But if you like it, you can screenshot or do whatever. I don't really care. But anyways, let's get into the video. Alright guys, so by the title / topic of today's video, it's going to be something a little different that I have never done before. But it's something that I actually have written down in my list of YouTube video ideas to talk to you guys about. And so with that being said, today's video is going to be about book reviews / summaries. I think that's what it's going to be called. I don't know. I'll probably just make the title before, I post a video. But basically, throughout this video, I just wanted to give you guys like a list of books and their summaries of things that I have read the past couple of months that have really helped me in the long run. You're probably wondering, why is this girl wanting to, give us a book review? That's boring, yada, yada, yada. But, you know what? It could potentially help you out in some way, shape, or form. You never know. So, with that all being said, I just want to say that if you guys don't know me, I'm a huge nerd. I love learning. It doesn't matter what subject it is. It can be math, science, history, art, music, or whatever the case is. I love learning. When I was in, elementary school, middle school, and even up in high school, I loved going to school just for the learning part. I could care less about, the people that went to school. My main thing is that I just love learning. I love expanding my knowledge. I love seeing what the world has to offer and seeing what else is out there, because the world is such a beautiful place and there's so much of it to explore that we don't even know about because we're so closed-minded and we're so used to everything that we grew up with. But for me, I want to explore. I love, moving from state to state, seeing what the world has in store for me because you never know. There's so many different, people, cultures. There's a big, diversity of people. There's just so much to learn from, and you won't know unless you actually, go out there and explore the world or you take the time for yourself to actually learn these different things. And for me, once I started going to college, literally everything just started falling together, falling into place piece by piece, like everything that I learned through elementary school, middle school, high school, and up until, the 2 years of college that I went, like everything just started falling into place, and it made me realize like, you know, this is what, you know, we were all trying to learn back when we were little. We just didn't understand, but now I have a better concept, a better idea of how the world came about, you know, what our ancestors did, and, you know, just history from thousands of years ago, the science and how we got the technology and everything that we have today. To me, it's so freaking mind-blowing, like just the universe in general, how everything came about, and, you know, what there is out there else. And it's just, for me, it's mind-blowing. And anyways, through my spirituality exploration last year, when I was living at my parents' house, you know, I was going through a rough patch because I ended up going back home, which it was not, you know, a good thing for me. Yeah, I love being, you know, with my family and everything, but my hometown is just not a good feeling, at least for me. It just makes me feel depressed. It makes me feel like I'm going to be stuck there forever. And it just made my levels of vibrations go very, very low. And my self-esteem and my confidence, you know, just dropped. And that's not like me, because you guys see me out here and I'm always trying to spread peace, love, and positivity everywhere I go. And I try to help people out to the best of my abilities. And so whenever that was happening to me, you know, going through this dark state of mind, I just kind of wanted to give up. I didn't, you know, want to do anything anymore. I was so scared. I'm like, you know what, nothing ever in my life is going to get better, so why continue? And then, you know, through my spiritual awakening process, you know, just at my parents' house and being there, something just clicked into my brain after this accident that happened. Something just clicked in my brain and was like, you know what, you need to do better for yourself. You need to live a better life. You need to do what is going to genuinely make you happy. And that's like when the light bulb went off in my head. And I'm like, you know what, I'm going to start reading more, because now that I've been out of school for 2 years, I've been out of high school for like, 4 years now, my brain is kind of, you know, slipping. Everything that I've learned is kind of going out the window, and that's not like me, because like I said, I love learning. So I'm like, you know what, I'm going to start reading books about, you know, living my life to the fullest, doing what's going to make me happy, you know, knowing that I'm special, going after my goals, going after my dreams, you know, spiritual exploration, spiritual growth, emotional growth, yada, yada, yada. And those are the types of books that I have been reading. And I can tell you that since I started reading them in October, they have definitely helped me tremendously. Now, I'm not going to say I've read a giant amount of books, but I've read at least 5 or 6 books that have definitely helped me, and I still use them to this day. And actually, one of the books I'm still reading, because we just haven't finished it yet, because, you know, life is just crazy and sometimes we don't get the chance to read everything. But during this video, I wanted to give you guys the list of the books, a little bit of a summary / review on the book, and basically, as well as giving you guys quotes about how to expand your knowledge and to just go with the flow of life and, you know, see what it has to offer for you. So to begin with, I have the list of books and a little bit of information about each of them in my little notebook right here. Now, I'm not going to go a whole, you know, depth into the book, because if you guys want to read it, then you could definitely read it. I'm going to put the pictures of the books after the video, because unfortunately I don't have, you know, the books with me, because they were library books, so I have already returned them, except for the one that I'm working on right now. But the first book that I read was called Live the Life You Love by Barbara Sher, and basically throughout that book she asked us, you know, what motivates us? What are the things in life that motivates us? It could be anything. It could be your children, it could be, you know, just feeling successful and achieved. It could be, you know, going after the things off your bucket list, doing whatever goals and dreams that you have. But whatever it is in life that motivates you, even, you know, going out there and helping others, or just doing what you can to just be the better person of yourself, like what motivates you. And then throughout the book as well, she gives you different exercises about, you know, what careers and occupations that you feel like fit you the most, which make you happy, what you are actually passionate and you enjoy doing. So she also has you like write little future letters to yourself in these different articles. Like, I think the one article I had wrote was about, you know, me being a motivational speaker and an advocate and a transformational life coach. So I like write myself a little article, like a headlining newspaper, and it was like, you know, renowned motivational speaker, set up her own organization, and, you know, writing these things out and giving yourself an idea of what you want your future to look like. It will give you that sense of enthusiasm, that sense of, you know, being energetic and wanting to actually, you know, put a move on it and, you know, tell yourself that this is what I'm gonna do and I'm not letting anyone stop me. So you write down your goals, you write down your plans for yourself and how you're going to achieve them. So overall, the book is basically about, teaching yourself to ask you what kind of things in life would make you happy, what would make you content, what would make you, live the life that you truly want to have. And for me, that's doing my motivational quote videos, my motivational videos like this, doing my other YouTube videos, acting, modeling, and helping people out to the best of my abilities. That's what motivates me every day to get up out of bed, because I want to be able to help you guys as well as helping myself and living, this positive, happy, joyous, blissful life. So if you guys want to check that out, like I said, I'm going to put all the pictures of the books at the end of this video. The second book that I read, and I actually got the authors confused of these two, but the second book that I read was called Happy for No Reason, and that is by Marci Shimoff. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm not sure, so I'm sorry if it's wrong. But in that book, she basically gives you an idea or explains to you what happiness is and how we are going to achieve it. So she basically says that there is a happiness set point, and throughout your life, it can fluctuate from time to time. You can be, extremely high and happy at one point in your life, or you can be extremely low and depressed at one point in your life. So your happiness set point, it will kind of always remain the same if you don't do anything, to change your life. But if you want your happiness set point to, be really high, and then, for you to be able to continue with your life, you have to be able to be willing to take the initiative to do the things that are going to make you happy in life. And it doesn't have to be the same as everybody else, because everybody's life is different. Everybody has different hobbies, interests, and things that they like to do. So it doesn't necessarily have to be the same thing as somebody else, but just find things in your life that genuinely make you happy. You enjoy doing it. You always feel a sense of adrenaline and enthusiasm. Sorry, I was trying to put those two words together. Adrenalusiasm, something like that. But yeah, so find things that are going to make you happy. So there's a happiness, spectrum that she talks to you guys about as well throughout the book. And she also, in the book, went around to different people that were described to be, some of the happiest people in the world, and she took the top 100 happiest people, and she went through them and asked them what the qualities of living a happy life are. And some of the things that they said were feeling alive, the flow of life, having passion for what you're doing in life, as well as living in the present moment, spreading peace, love, and positivity wherever you go. So those are the things that the 100 happy people said are good qualities to live a happy, healthy, and joyfulest life. There's also ways for you to practice to become happier. To become happier, you have to look at your habits, because all habits and behaviors that were created in the past for specific neural pathways. So basically, unhappy people, they're going to form these habits where they're negative, and you're going to have more neurological negative pathways. You're not going to be able to enjoy life as much as other people, because you're so used to all the negative things that are going on. You're focused on the negative things and instead of trying to make them better. See, I'm over here missing my words because I'm so excited to make this video. So you learn that, knowing that the universe is out to support you. A lot of people feel like, my life is never going to get better, or why does this always happen to me? I'm always going to feel like this. People believe that the universe is out there to take things away from them, to take their life away, but that's not true. But what they don't understand is that what you put out into the universe is what you're going to receive. It is the law of attraction, and it has been identified by numerous, physicists, psychologists, transformational life coaches, monks, priests, whatever. A lot of people have realized that what you put out into the universe is what you're going to receive. If you're always going to think negative and have these negative reactions, thoughts, and outcomes, then you're gonna have all these negative results in your life. But once you start putting out, positivity, high vibrations, just spreading peace, love, and positivity wherever you go, you're gonna receive, positivity back to you just as much. The universe is out there to support you, and it wants you to have everything in life that you desire. You just have to be willing to go with the flow and let it take you on a journey instead of trying to fight it and force things not to happen. She also explains her secret formula to happiness, as well as, having vision boards, taking ownership of your own happiness, recognizing that your choice determines your life, not what other people, tell you, but what you believe is good for your life and what you're going to do with it. She wants you to also know that you shouldn't believe everything that you think. And if you guys remember in my, past motivational quote videos, I talked to you guys about that a little bit, because she explained how our negative thoughts that we have, acquired in life, they're like Velcro. They stick to our heads. They don't, go away. They're always there. But then, when something positive happens, yeah, we get happy for that time, being, but then we just let all the positive, happy, and joyfulest thoughts, just slip right away from us. But we need to be able to reverse that and have, then all the positivity stick to us and have all the negativity, slide away. So we want all the positive to become Velcro and all the negative to become Teflon and just slide away. But right now, it's vice versa. We are attached to our negative thoughts and we let the positive ones slip away. But once we learn that, this is occurring, we're able to fix it. You have to find happiness habits. You question your thoughts. You go beyond. You go outside the box. Our hearts are where the juice in our life comes from. So when the juice is flowing, our life is very happy and we feel great. But when it's not, we're very, unhappy. We have to learn to accept love and fear and know that our heart has an energy field. We have to be able to also learn how to forgive and be grateful and to just, have gratitude for everything in our life, no matter what it is. So basically in that book, guys, Marci pretty much gives us an understanding of what happiness is, how to achieve it on our own, and trying to let go of our thoughts controlling our lives and letting the universe take us on a journey and finding out what the true meaning of happiness is. Alright guys, so the next book that I read was called The 7 Spiritual Instincts of Moving Through Fear, or something along those lines. I think it's Moving Through Fear, the 7 Spiritual Instincts. I'm not really sure, but there'll be a picture at the end of the video. But that book is by Jeff Golliher. I don't really know how to pronounce his last name, but something along those lines. And basically throughout that book, he gives us an explanation about, how our fear is very powerful and how it pretty much controls our life. And right now we're so caught up in fear that we can't really live our lives how we truly want to live them. It says, he explains that fear is very powerful. That's why most people give up so easily, because they're afraid to, go out there and see what else there is to offer for them. They're afraid of taking these risks and these challenges, and they're very used to being stuck in this closed-minded state of mind. He goes into, a deeper talk about his own experience with fear, as well as using other stories. So throughout the book, he gives you a lot of stories from his past and a lot of stories from other people that he has talked to about how they were able to move through their own fears as well. He also talks to us, guys, about how we already have the 7 spiritual instincts inside of us, on how we're supposed to move through fear. It's just whether or not we're able to learn how to cultivate them. We already have it within us because, we're all born with these birthright, spiritual instincts, love, gratitude, intent, yada, yada, yada. But it's just whether or not we know how to use them. Most people nowadays don't know how to use them because we're blocked off by everything that's happened in the world nowadays and in history. All of our spiritual instincts got blocked off, and we kind of just went into this secluded, isolated state of mind, and we're afraid to, ask God for help. We're afraid to ask the universe for help, and we kind of just stay there in like a little shell, and we're trying to figure out how to get out of it. But once we're able to understand our different fears, then it's going to be easier for us to be able to cultivate these different spiritual instincts that will help us, eventually move through our fears and to be able to live that happy, free, carefree, joyous lifestyle. So like I said, we basically already have the 7 spiritual instincts inside of us. Then he gives us 5 insights into the movement of fear, which are, fear can be close to our hearts. The freedom that we want is beyond fear. He also explains that we don't need to be an expert to move through fear. We just have to be able to learn how to cultivate our instincts, as well as knowing that one fear that we have contains the power of every fear within. But once we are able to figure out what that one fear is, and we're able to figure out what our other fears are and how we're going to move through them and not let them run our lives anymore, so that we're able to be carefree, joyous, adventurous, and have a fun freaking life. And then the last, insight into the movement through fear is asking yourself a few questions, is this the life that I really want to have? Am I going to go deeper into, my fears, into my spirituality side or my spiritual side? Am I going to get closer to God? Am I going to, go down the different path of life? Yada, yada, yada. You just have to ask yourself so many questions and figure out, is this the life that I truly want, or do I want to actually be happy? And then our 7 spiritual instincts that we need to be able to cultivate are awe, which is our homing signal, love, which is the river of life, because everything is love. We just have to understand that. But right now, people are so caught up in the love of power instead of the power of love. So people want to, control everyone else instead of letting everyone else be themselves and accepting everyone and loving everyone for who they are. They want to be in control of everyone's life and not be able to let people be who they're truly meant to be. Intent, which is our inner directedness. We have these gut instincts, and we should always go with them because it usually is something right. It tells us when something's wrong, so we should go with our gut instincts. If we know we want to be better for ourselves, and go for it. Don't let other people stop you from living how you want to live. Our conscious, which is our moral compass. So basically, are the voices inside of our head telling us what we should do. Usually the voices are negative, but we have to be able to, flip that around and tell ourselves that we got to be able to think positive, go with the flow of life, and let it take us on a journey. As well as working on relationships, getting the proper rest that your body needs, not just, sleeping at night, but, getting the rest that your body needs when it needs it, not trying to force it to, do everything else, because then that just makes your body, deteriorate and become more lethargic, and you don't want that. You need to get the proper rest at the proper time and stick with that because it'll help you. As well as having faith and taking a leap into the unknown. And that is a big one, because a lot of people are afraid to take that leap into the unknown because they're afraid of what's going to happen next. They're afraid because they don't know what's going to happen next. But once you have faith in God, you have faith in the universe that everything's going to be all right, you'll be able to just go with the flow. Let it take you on a journey. I mean, come on, look at me. I've moved to 5 different states without my family, without my friends, without my parents, and I'm just living life to the fullest, trying to see where it's going to take me, because eventually I'm going to get to where I want to be in life. I just have to be able to take that next step and not be afraid and just go with the flow. So basically within this book, Jeff gave us an understanding of our fears, all of them that have been keeping us from actually living our lives how we want to live it. He gives us a way to cultivate our birthright spiritual instincts and how to use them in our everyday life, as well as trying to get through, fear as well. And the last book that I had read while I was up in Pennsylvania is kind of one of my favorites, because if you guys also don't know, through spiritual awakenings, you'll start to see that, the synchronicity of things. So basically that's when it's not a coincidence, these things are being thrown in your life for a reason. A lot of people will think it's a coincidence, but everything in life happens for a reason. The universe and God, they're always throwing us, signs and signals and symbols letting us know that we're going in the right direction of life. And for me, I can tell you that this book is actually one that has definitely let me know that I'm going in the right direction of life with my spiritual awakening, my spiritual process, going with the flow, and, trying to be the best version of myself possible. And that's because I read this book and then I started seeing the author everywhere, guys, everywhere. So basically, the book is called You're Special, and it is by Fred Rogers. And if you guys don't know who Fred Rogers is, I guess back in the old days, I didn't know this because I wasn't alive at this time and I had never heard of it before, but I guess back in the old days there was a TV show on, on the air, and it was called Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, and Fred Rogers, he was the host of it, and he basically, connected with children in many different ways, not even just children, but adults too, trying to help them figure out what it is from their past that is, stopping them from living the life that they truly want to have are these different things, you know, from abandonment to being bullied to, you know, drugs or whatever the case is that, you know, causing you to live your life. And then he helps you figure out what it is, and then he talks to you about it and tries to, you know, help you figure out how to move through it. And during his book, it's basically a collection of his thoughts and his sayings on which he uses his own memories of being a child and growing up. And he has the ability, like I said, to understand all kinds of people, and he inspires, you know, us viewers and even, you know, the children that he worked with. He inspired us from the past and the present with his straightforwardness, his compassionate guidance, and he wanted to help show us how to get the most from life. And that's basically, you know, what he did, letting us know that, you know, we're all special in our own way, no matter what. And the things that happened to our past, yes, it happened to us, but we're able to move through it as long as, you know, we go with the flow and we don't let the past, you know, overcome everything that we're trying to work on in our present to where we want to get to our future. And so with that, after I read that book, it's so crazy though, because guys, like, I literally read that book, right? And then an angel number 22 started popping up everywhere. I started seeing that number everywhere, and then I realized the synchronicity of things, where it's basically when, you know, you see one thing and then you start seeing it everywhere else. It's not a coincidence, it's the universe throwing this stuff at you. But I read the book, and then it just so happened that Des and I went to a little thing called Apple Fest in my hometown, and they have like all these different like homemade things there. These people can sell different things, there's different booths, yada yada yada, and there just happened to be a little sketch artist there, and we were going through his sketches, just looking at the sketches, and bam, right there was Fred Rogers' name. And I was like, wow, that is freaking crazy, Des. That is freaking crazy. So we seen that, and then a couple days later, we were leaving to come down to Georgia, and we're at the airport, and I kid you not, guys, at the Pittsburgh airport, right before we were about to board our plane, there was a giant, when I say giant, there is a giant picture of Fred Rogers, and I will post a picture at the end of this video because I forgot to post it in my last video on, you know, synchronicity and spiritual awakenings and all that, but I will definitely post it at the end of this video. But basically, guys, his picture was at the airport, and I had to get a picture with it because I'm like, I literally just finished the book, I just seen his name on a sketch at, you know, Apple Fest, and then I go to the airport and his picture's at the airport. Not to mention my seat number was 22, which is a number that I've been seeing everywhere, and so it's crazy because I see that number every single day. It doesn't matter how many times a day, I see it every day ever since then. And as you know, I'm living in Georgia, we just happened to see that Tom Hanks starred in the movie of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, you know, by Fred Rogers. They made a movie about it, and it basically explained like him in a show, and it was so freaking mind-blowing how everything just started to fall into place for me, guys. I'm telling you that once you go with the flow of life, you start expanding your mind, you become more optimistic and open-minded, things will literally start falling into your lap, and you will start piecing everything together. No joke, guys, no joke. But that was crazy to me because it's like, I literally seen Fred Rogers like 4 times, and I still see him like everywhere. Like, it doesn't matter what I'm doing. I see 22 pop up, I see Fred Rogers pop up, I see the names of different authors and stuff that I've read, and, you know, the meditation and the yoga and the learning about, you know, Deepak Chopra, and just everything in the, everything is just, it's mind-blowing and crazy to me, guys. Like, honestly, I would say to just expand your horizons, go with the flow, and see what, you know, life has in store for you, because it is honestly an amazing experience. It gives you just like a sense of overwhelming enthusiasm and adrenaline, and you just want to keep going and seeing what else is out there for you to learn. But with all that being said, guys, the last book that I wanted to talk to you guys about, which is a book that Des and I are reading right now, we're not finished with it, but it is called Living Well Emotionally by Montell Willams. And if you guys don't know him, he was a TV show host, which I used to actually watch it with my grandma when I was younger. But anyways, throughout the book, he basically describes his life living with MS, and MS is multiple sclerosis. For any of you guys that don't know, I used to have a patient who had that, which I don't really remember what exactly it is, but if you want to look it up, you definitely can. You're more than welcome to. But basically, he explained, you know, his life and how he found out he was diagnosed with MS. And then he goes to, you know, tell you guys how he got fired from his job, and he had been working on the air for 17 years. And then, you know, it kind of came to a blow to him, like, wow, you know, I'm getting kicked off, you know, TV. And then he also describes how he dealt with depression and then the antidepressants from, you know, his medications and just his life in general, and how he's been to therapy and how a lot of it's been working. And again, we have not finished the book, so I'm not going to give you guys too much information because obviously I don't know the rest of it. But basically, he's just describing how he went through therapy, he went through different antidepressants. He's not saying that, you know, you should take antidepressants, but if you need to, you should definitely get help. If you want to talk to somebody, that's definitely fine as well, because I know that for me, when I was dealing with my depression and my anxiety, going to counseling and talking to people definitely did help out in the long run. You don't have to do it, but it's definitely a suggestion, and that's what he gives you in the book. He says you don't have to do it, but it's just a suggestion. He's just trying to help us live well emotionally, how to, you know, overcome our depression and live the life that we are truly meant to live. So those books have definitely helped me out in the long run. Like I said, I'm still currently reading that book. Plus, I have like 2 more books in there that we want to read. And we got, you know, a couple free books from this random guy one day that he actually wrote. And so we want to read those. So we have a lot of stuff to be reading. But, you know, it's okay, because for me, like I said, I love learning. Des wants to learn as much as me too. So we're just doing everything we can to expand our mind and seeing what it has to offer, because these books have definitely helped us out in the long run. You might think it's kind of stupid, but in the end, it could potentially help you out. Whether you think it might or not, or whatever, you know, other people think, it doesn't, you know, matter what they think. This is only what you want to do. And for me, I don't care if people think it's dumb that I'm sitting here reading books on how to, you know, live my life to the fullest, because that's a lot of things that, or that's something that a lot of people struggle with, is what I should say. A lot of people struggle with trying to live their lives to the fullest because they're so caught up in what society and the environment want us to live our lives and how they want us to live. And it's just causing us to have, you know, a great depression, you know, like a real depression within all of our, you know, citizens, because we're not able to live our lives how we truly want to live it, and it's so hard for us. So yes, if you guys are dealing with something, or you just want to, you know, expand your horizons, live your life to the fullest, I definitely think you should check out these books, because they have helped me out in the long run. They are definitely useful, and I would honestly give them each a 5 out of 5 rating, because they have definitely helped us out that much, and I enjoy reading them. They're very easy to read. It's not anything too complex, too crazy, you can't understand. It's very simple, straightforward, and it will tell you just like that on how to, you know, work through everything, how to be the best version of yourself possible. So with that being said, guys, I just want to give you guys a few quotes about, you know, reading and expanding your mind. So the first quote says, the more you read, the more you will know, the more you learn, the more places you'll go. And that's, I think it was by Dr. Seuss, but basically, the more knowledge that you have, the more, you know, places you are able to go into the world and explore, because you have a little bit of knowledge of what's going to be there, what's going to happen, how the people are. Expand yourself, go out there, explore the world. The next quote says, your perspective is always limited by how much you know. Expand your knowledge and you will transform your mind. And that is so true. So a lot of people are closed-minded. They're not able to think outside the box. So they have their own personal beliefs and thoughts that they think about, and they don't, you know, let other people try to come in and change their mind. But once you become more optimistic and open-minded, you're able to accept other people's perspectives, other people's opinions, other people's ideas. You're able to see, you know, what the world is really about. It gives you a, you know, a better knowledge, a better understanding of how to live our lives and how to go through lives and how to figure out, you know, what's healthy for us and what's not, and how to just be a better person in general. And the last one says, keep working on yourself and your goals. The rest will follow. And that's true. Just work on yourself every day. Don't worry about what other people think of you. Just do what you got to do, and everything honestly will eventually start to fall into your lap. And I can tell you that for a fact, because for me, I'm just doing what I want to do, spreading the peace, love, and positivity everywhere, making my YouTube videos, doing me, going after my goals, going after my dreams, and honestly, everything's just falling into my lap in a timely manner, and I couldn't be more blessed, I couldn't be more thankful, and I'm just very content and happy with my life right now. I'm not trying to force nothing to happen, I'm not trying to force anything to not happen, I'm just going with the flow and seeing what, you know, life has in store for me. So guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a like, comment, share, and subscribe, and don't forget to follow me on all of my social medias, and I'll be back with more videos. Peace.